Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Cannotuck.
This is Rangru, low, low, low.
And folks, today we are giving you some Orsha East action. We actually have ourselves a red-on-red kind of engagement here. What's going on, sir?
Left hand side in the blue, we have an Eastern Dream, also known as Mr. Ghosty, playing 3rd Canadian with Maverick Income. Right hand side in the red, we have the Knight of Something Something, also known as Liszek, playing the 8th Cavalry Romanian, also with a Maverick Income.
So Liszek over here, of course, feeling good as hell. And looking over at the Canadians. So Canadians per data, I mean, the Romanians have been kind of fun with this, but I feel like Canadians probably might have the minor edge over here in infantry. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I mean, 3rd Canadians used to be very powerful early on in the game's release, but since the Sherman nerf and honestly just Commonwealth rifles really just getting power creeped out of usefulness, it'd be curious to see how this does go. And we're seeing Mr. Ghosty go pretty hard up north of the field engineers to getting close, and even got the stag hounds providing decent fire support, getting him a very good position in that northern forest.
And that's what I was thinking about here too, is if you look at the Canadian kind of build out here, he's got very early kind of going with those field engineers. Of course, field engineers, not quite as durable as a lot of the other Pioneer squads that we do see. But when you're backing him up over here with things like, hey, the occasional Command Steward, bring in those stag counts, and even Rifle Piats with the double Bren, not the worst thing in the world. Of course, you have to worry about those Piats, but that's a different discussion altogether now, isn't it?
Indeed. And then looking at the rest of the map, we're seeing not really too much happening down south, and in the center, this is where Liszek is really putting a little bit more pressure. But damn, there's a lot of snipers and a lot of machine guns set up here from Ghosty to buy him time to bring up that Sherman DD command. So he's just very much playing defensive in the center so he can break the north, which is a good play, because usually if you can break the north and fully capture it, we see time and time again, by God, it's hard to fully lose it, just because you got so much open ground between you and the enemy.
Well, the kind of fun thing here is I never really think about using machine guns and snipers to kind of actually get some guaranteed kills here and there. Actually, down south there, I can see a defense group go down. But thankfully, there's a Vickers backing that up, just kind of putting fire out there with 5,000 rounds that it does have. But yeah, kind of unique. We don't generally seem to see the sniper scouts paired with actually machine gun platforms, which is something that actually works pretty well.
Yeah, especially just as a block-in defense, just to buy him time, so he doesn't have to spend too much spamming the central town of infantry. We're seeing up north, Liszek buying the Hetcher to try to, well, start running some of these tank engagements here, but it's getting pretty tight here for him. He only has a small chunk of that forest left. Actually, the Hetcher's getting some pretty good hits and stunning the infantry.
Also kind of benefits over here too is that that Spitfire, thankfully, kind of pushing back a lot of those Romanian troops and really forcing the Hetzer to get in. Remember, guys, of course, Hetzer has, not great optics being a vehicle. Of course, good enough to see that Staghound on the road, but, slightly different seeing, foot sloggers, I suppose, that madness right there.
Yeah, now Liszek getting pretty much evicted out of that forest. It's really going to be hard for him to put pressure into it, especially if Ghosty can bring up an anti-tank gun or two. And he doesn't really have much recon there either, so... I mean, okay, he has a recon sniper team, but they're going to get a little bit close.
Well, and let's be fair, the recon sniper team does actually have Panzerfaust. So you can see the Wasp did go down a little while ago, and this little burning wreckage to the east of the Command Steward. So that Sherman DD could get clapped if he's not careful.
I'm seeing a little bit more pressure in the center here from Liszek, bringing out Zarini. Actually got a good hit on the Rossby as well. Vitas was probably invest just a little bit more on infantry in the center. I don't want to say you'd be able to break it, because we still have that pretty Gucci defensive line of machine guns and snipers. But he might be able to relieve some pressure from, well, the north. And he might as well just try to push center as well, because honestly, I think he's just going to lose north. He might as well not be investing anymore into that fallen front.
That's a good point. I'm trying to analyze right now what the heck do I bring in as the Canadians. I'm down 14-10. Yes, you're right. There is the power creep to always worry about. And that Spitfire hit the wrong postal code, and Colorasi, stays out to fight another day. I don't know. I'm thinking of bringing one of those priests. I think a Priest 105 here probably makes a lot more sense than even bringing in a 6-pounder.
Up north?
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, the Jagdpanzer isn't going to get close enough in the first place. And if he does, you really should be able to redeploy some infantry. Of course, I say that, and of course he's going to move right around and probably take the command Stewart. And it's going to happen any second now. That's one. And I don't know. I just feel like there was an opportunity that was over here to nothing else. Now he's bringing the rifles Piat down, which... Okay.
This is actually a very good counterattack here from Liszek.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because the main thing, if he got that 6-pounder up in the front sooner, and he would have been able to deal with the Agpans, and then it's just putting down machine guns to deal with the infantry as they cross in the open here. But actually, what I said before about being a lost cause, he pretty much proved me wrong here. Being able to, get in before Mr. Ghosty completely solidified is going to allow him a fighting chance, a really good fighting chance, to get back into his forest.
He's probably going to lose the Dark Benzer. There we go. It's a broken watch kind of day here, folks. The Piat's right and hits twice a day. This is one of those times. And here's the Pionieri, the Pionieri Calari, and this is kind of what I'm talking about over here. Unlike the field engineers, which are half squad at 5, yes, we are seeing the rifles Piat be able to kind of kite. But at the end of the day, what? Pionieri lost 1 man.
Yeah.
Field engineers to the north, the Rosorii, the guys they're fighting against, I don't even think they even took any losses. Maybe they took 1.
And this is where you don't see 3rd Canadian or a whole lot of Commonwealth infantry divisions or Commonwealth divisions being played that much anymore, because in this infantry power creep matter, with the Romanians especially having some top tier troops, 5-man field engineers aren't gonna cut it. This isn't ST-44 where you can micro them around. You need beefy boys with rid Eastern European SMGs and enough satchel grenades to, blow a crater in the moon.
Yep, and names that we can't pronounce with any kind of accuracy.
Yes. Truly
Sherman
Eastern
DD.
Front experience.
Oh, exactly. Sherman DD sliding south. Going to probably engage and more than likely kill that Terran before he crosses the Rio. But there's Rini up there. I think it's not interesting per se, but I don't know. It's very, very awkward for me to kind of look at this. And look at the Rosorii coming on in. They try to push. Not going to happen. Here's the biggest issue about that infantry. You still got to get within 100 meters. And the Staghounds should be able to see before you can close that distance.
Yeah, that little light forest between the heavy forest and that northern town is really going to make or break it here for Mr. Ghosty. Because he does have pretty good fire support vehicles. I mean, Sherman's, machine guns, stabilizers, you know the drill. So we're seeing Liszek actually trying to flank around up north here, and then if he hooks around south, he can get some grenades onto his tanks. So we're seeing the Staghound actually redeploy to try to stop this little maneuver. Oh no, he's just hitting the Cagliari instead.
But of course, he's going to slide up here towards that...
Oh, clutch.
That was really, really good. I didn't even think he was going to be able to see that.
No, that was good game sense, right? Yeah, being able to hit that.
I was taking a look actually at the center in the meantime here too. Assault pioneers that were there, not doing a whole lot of assaulting and actually get taken out. We were looking down south. There had been some infantry that got deployed. I think Mr. Ghosty is going to try to do a little bit of a spirit walk over here to the south. It's not going to go very well, but of course he doesn't know that just yet.
Yeah, it's kind of weird for Ghosty, because on one hand I say he should be trying to play in more open fights, because then he can use his, kangaroos, Shermans, and all of that to, give him fire support advantage. But at the same time, 8th Cavalry isn't a slouch in the open field battles. They do have the really good Romanian anti-tank guns, Hetchers, some of the decent anti-aircraft guns as well. I mean, they're not as many tanks or quality tanks per se, but it's enough to hold the line. Especially in this Maverick on Maverick.
In the meanwhile, if we turn away from the attention from the north, and you can see right now that apparently was it was a missed opportunity, because Liszek just absolutely shellacked the Sherman that was in the trees. Greyhound goes down. The infantry is forced to debark as that anti-tank gun finally does go down, but was able to destroy the truck at least and cause some significant casualties. And that Crusader, well, the driver's been killed for another 15 seconds, so maybe there's just an opportunity to pick it up with some infantry-based AT.
It could be, but no, it's a really good, counterattack. Just momentum here from Liszek. I mean, he got 15-9. The center is starting to rupture a little bit. He's really just starting to, win these all-important infantry fights, of course, and he's taken his territory. It seems really for Mr. Ghosty, his best bet is to try to make his southern gambit work. He needs to get some cheap and easy flags to stop his point hemorrhage.
That's true, and actually, right now we are seeing a priest being brought into the northern side, but I don't know if he's there to provide fire support or last rites, because even as we watch, 6 pounders in the center going to get engaged and more than likely taken out by the 222 in the Zerini. Okay, he damaged the transmission, but goes down all the same. The priest backing up like crazy. Yeah, this is rough.
Yeah.
This is real rough.
We're just seeing all the tanks with the fire support coming on in. And if now Liszek can actually get those anti-tank guns into that northern forest, oh, he's going to get cocky. He's going to get the Razor rally and assault down the road. We've seen this time and time again, Khan. And I think these guys are just going to get blapped.
No, because the 6 pounder actually autos to armored fighting vehicles first. It's a weird thing, the anti-guns. So, I mean, the infantry's okay unless it's the actual like only target to be hitting. You see this reading in the meantime. Fires once, takes out half the crew. And that Hetzer, another Hetzer's been brought on forwards, engaging and probably will take out that Vickers. No, Vickers falls back just in time.
Yeah, and we're just seeing in the center, it's pretty much over here for Mr. Ghosty. He does have vehicles here, but he has no infantry to actually push onto the hill. It's really just a last defense along the edge.
And he does pick up the horse. Congratulations, he goes to 222, but I get the feeling it's going to be one of those AT grenade assaults. Okay, no, the Wolverine somehow manages to activate that healing factor and backs away. More Razor coming on in, though, and it doesn't seem to matter. He kills a couple squads, but there's like 3 more come right back in, and now he's throwing more tanks in there. Mm-hmm. Yes, rifles behind it, but I think you're right. I think the infantry fight over here is unfortunately just gone very, very against Ghosty.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much realized it's like, okay, my riflemen, they're crap. I'm just gonna need to have as much armored fighting vehicles as possible. I mean, the Kangaroo and rifle combo isn't really that terrible, but he just needs dudes to, cover his advance here. I mean, if he can just bring in enough 50 cal machine guns to, knock out every single Romanian on this hill, as his only real way he's gonna get back up onto here, because he cannot trade run-to-run with his own infantry.
No, he cannot, and it doesn't seem to matter those brave Spitfires coming in nearly constantly. I can't help but wonder, and this, of course, is backseating quite a bit. Would it have been better to negate the early air power and just bring in a lot more infantry instead, I wonder?
Yeah, I mean, the Spitfires are really useful and they're not that expensive. Yeah, they're actually pretty affordable at 100 points. But, I know it's a shame up north that he didn't manage. If he just had another minute or two to solidify, get the anti-tank guns up, get some Vickers and some snipers, he probably could have pretty easily held that northern side. He's much better in his open ground engagements. But as you see, when it gets forced into a forest, the infantry factor just comes out on top.
Yes, it does. And at this point right now, we're actually seeing the 105 Priest just start putting out a couple rounds occasionally here and there. It does take out 1 or 2 pieces, but the Ju-87 is going to come on in, probably take out the Firefly, and that's going to be a hurt that I don't know if Ghosty can come back from.
Yeah, it's going to suck. You got a lot of matchups like this. We've got Romanians flying a German aircraft on the Eastern Front to blow up a Canadian and a British tank with an American tank with a British gun, which is from the Western Front.
And when all is said and done, then we also have a couple Crusaders just hanging out for some strange freaking reason.
Maybe I got lost on the Third Crusade.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, they're here now because God wills it, so whatever.
What was it?
The Ju-87 somehow limps out, which is actually a giant shock to me. TACM R2 is on the field, and actually we have 2 100mm guns that are just pounding that western hillside. He's got to know that Ghosty's making a run over here at the center.
Yeah, this is like a preliminary bombardment to soften them up before they even think about doing the attack. And the attack will commence. He's blown the whistle, they're going over the top. He has a lot of firepower here, but, well, Liszek's prepared. He has decent counterback firepower, and just all that infantry in the town, it's going to take him a while to rout them out. And he's going to be stuck in this open field and just get pounded in this killing field.
Yeah, it kind of helps, or it doesn't help, if you prefer to look at it that way, when your troops, though, don't really go in with any support. I mean, the rifles are on the hill, and that's great. But, like, you just talked about the fact that we have all these 12-7s, all these Mama Deuces over here just waiting to engage, and all of them just sit at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, this is timing. I think he's still waiting for more reinforcements. Like, time is not on his side. He only has 6 minutes left. He needs to try to make something happen now.
Kind of interestingly as well, though, we're also seeing the Priest DD support vehicle. So, folks, this is, again, basically if someone took a field gun and said, ah, yes, you were racing an IG-18 on tracks, which, you know, has its own use, but just here, I feel like you need much more application of high explosive and not the occasional softball-sized round.
I see what he's doing. He's mainly just trying to pin the northern forest here to stop any more further plays, but he can't really push back in. This is more just plugging in any more offensives up north and really any aggression. You know, he's getting a lot of Romanians here, but he's not going to gain any territory out of it.
No, he won't. And in the center, okay, look, hey, at long last, the kangaroos are going up the hillside, forcing a surrender. I mean, the Zrini is still there, so the Zrini is going to limp his way around. But just when I thought there's a much bigger play happening here, he pushes right back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite curious why he isn't, like, full sending. I mean, honestly, what will probably happen if he full sends, he's going to lose those vehicles as well, but we just want to see a firefight, goddammit.
Exactly. The attack cam over here, I want to see the attack cam just kind of go and just start feasting on Kangaroo.
Oh, he's got a crap ton of Wolverines, okay.
Yes, he does.
He's bringing out the X-Men, so he's very much just trying to build up the penultimate Death Star force here to just have overwhelming firepower.
That's why he's bringing Stormtroopers.
Nice, yeah.
No, but I think you're correct. I think he does have the X-Men over here. Dingo, of course, the special power is he eats babies. The Kangaroo, well, they keep people safe. Her named Joey. And, of course, the Wolverine, we just basically create an Australian and give him an actual film career. So. But it's the Aussie Outback. You can't hate this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hate it.
God damn. It's just, all that artillery as well is really doing a good job of just pinning him down. I mean, got 3 100 mils now. And it's just such a tight zone. Like, he's gonna get some hurt when he goes over that hill.
I think, to a certain extent, we're just going to see that moment where it's like, you know what? Maybe it's not important for me to go that direction. But, like, down south in the meantime, we've had, what, a couple hundred points of infantry and material down here.
Yeah.
And this could have been something that could have been a really, really great moment. Now, I mean, the Ju-88 is going to go and absolutely obliterate 2 guys named Bob and, you know, Harry or something in a giant carpet bombing. But hey, if it works, it works, I suppose.
That's a very good point, because as we see with God Vision, it's really not been a whole lot here down south, right? And he's completely failed to really exploit this. I mean, once again, it comes down to game sense and using recon. But he does have recon here. He could have done a little bit more probing to try to see, hey, is there much here?
Now, here's the interesting one. We got a brace of Ju-87s coming in, looking to kill those Wolverines or Sherman. One or the other.
I think
highly unlikely.
I think there's a little bit of anti-air, Khan.
Yeah, somehow the Ju-87s are going to make it back out. Watch. Oh, hey, look, they actually can get hit.
Yeah.
Not used to this anymore. But it's still 16-8 here, folks, and we got about 120 seconds until Ghosty gets passed on through to the other side. So if there ever was a time to full send, like, this isn't time. He's bringing another, 78 squads of rifled Piats over here to the center. But I don't know if he can wait until then to send the troops in. He's got to go now.
Yeah, it really does suck. Not just for him, but for us. Because I just want to see his big armored blob just go on over and just have... I don't care who wins with this engagement. I just want to see the engagement.
He's got to know. There we go. At least the front of the armored spearhead is moving forward.
There we go, yeah. Like, oh god, I only got a minute and a half. It's like, you got your, project deadline due, 11:59, it's 6 o'clock at night. It's like, okay, gotta rip out the Monster Energy drink and get this assignment done.
Oh man, that was the entirety of uni for me.
Mm-hmm.
But Wolverine's in the meantime backed up with that Dingo, giving a lot of veterans. He killed his Rini. Now, the humorous thing here is that Dingo goes down. The humorous thing here is, yeah, the JU-88 comes on and just obliterates the entire front. That would be awful and yet funny at the same time. But the weird thing is we are seeing that depth of firepower you were talking about before. Had he just been more aggressive with this could have been a completely different story.
Yeah. Oh, he even got the off map now. Like, he's got a very good attack, a very good force. He only has 30 seconds to utilize it, so we'll see if he can come back in 30 seconds.
You know, I'm not a betting man, but I would say it does not look particularly good.
I think you might be onto something, Khan.
You know, I think I might be too, but I'm happy you agree with me. And that's not an unfortunate thing, because Ghosty over here, had he moved, 40 seconds earlier, 2 minutes earlier, he really had something. He really, really, truly did. And we're not even see the bombs hit the ground. That's the unfortunate part about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally right before the bombs hit the ground.
God damn it, Ghosty. Really just, like, leading us on there.
But, in the meantime, I mean, we saw what we expected to see. We saw what we expected to see. Final thoughts here, sir. What are you thinking?
I do have something to say.
Please, by all means, the floor is yours.
It's like, I feel like Ghosty really screwed up his, like, timing momentum of that match. Like, he did decent early on, but especially after losing North, it was just, oh god, I gotta, really build up a force somewhere, and he never, especially with Maverick, you kind of gotta go hard and early. Never was able to do that. And also, I think this goes to show, right, people, you just don't play 3rd Canadian there. The infantry, just the deck is just not good. Hopefully, with the infantry trait update, give them something to do to like better stock traits and all of that crap. Maybe I'll see a little bit of a resurgence.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Commonwealth divisions unfortunately kind of fall into the whole kind of great Pat Benatar moments where you have to hit with your best shot, you fire away, and you hope that love isn't too much of a battlefield. But hey, I'm happy to see the Romanians kind of coming out swinging. Kind of nice to see a lighted division pretty much punch very, very strong within their weight class. And air power being what it was, I mean, didn't make or break on either side, but it's still nice to see it in both cases.
Indeed.
Folks, I think that's going to about do it for us today. It looked like kills and losses over here wasn't too crazy on either side, though the Zrini did do decently well for himself. Excuse me, the TACABs, rather. Forgive me. But that's going to do it for us today. Until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.